everybody, and welcome to this West Coast training camp. I'm Chris Matthews, and the NFL regular season is right around the corner. For the next half hour, we'll take you up and down the West Coast to get an in-depth look at the preparations the teams are making to get ready for the regular season. We'll start in Los Angeles, where the Rams will officially call home once again to find out how the team is adjusting to the move. Then we'll head to the Mile High City, where the defending Super Bowl champions are hard at work training to defend their title. Next, we'll go back to California, this time to Oakland to check in on the Raiders, who have a new face to backup star Derek Carr. From there, we'll hop across the bay to check in on the San Francisco 49ers. A battle is brewing between star quarterback. Last but not least, we'll come full circle and stop in on San Diego and see how a handful of new players are fitting in with the Bulls. As promised, we check in on the most recent team to set up shop in L.A., the Rams. The team's first stint in SoCal began in 1946, 10 years after being formed in Cleveland. The Rams spent almost 50 years in Los Angeles before hitting the road for St. Louis in 1995. But a new stadium offer brought them back to California. What will be known as Los Angeles Entertainment Center in Inglewood should be ready for the team by 2019. With the new home comes new expectations. The fans in Los Angeles are expecting a resurgence among the Rams. Now, Lena Washington spoke with coaches and players to get their take on the new season.
The NFL is back in Los Angeles for the first time in more than 20 years. The Rams won the relocation battle with the Oakland Raiders and the San Diego Chargers. And while the team awaits their new multi-billion-dollar stadium to open in Inglewood, just 20 minutes from here, the legendary LA Coliseum will be their home come September. And this young team is looking to shine in Hollywood.
Lights, camera, action. It's the Los Angeles Rams, the sequel.
You know, I love the Midwest, but it's hard to beat this.
Welcome home, Rams! But what these fans are really hoping to welcome is a playoff run. Like the state of California, the Rams are in a drought, a postseason drought, and they have been since 2004. But with a roster full of fresh young talent, this team could flip the script.
I want to see Gurley! Where you at, Gurley? Where you at? Where you at?
Second-year running back Todd Gurley will be one of the stars this season. He rushed for more than 1,100 yards, the third most in the NFL, with 10 touchdowns in his rookie campaign.
I mean, everybody's been doing a great job, so, you know, we'll definitely see everybody getting better and better, especially from OTAs to now.
Gurley will be sharing the spotlight with another offensive stud, this year's #1 overall draft pick, quarterback Jared Goff. The Cal Berkeley product threw for more than 4,700 yards on 64% completion with 43 TDs in his junior season. But the 21-year-old knows the transition from being the big man on campus to the potential backup quarterback won't be easy.
I think I'm going to go back to what I've been saying, just the comfortability. I don't know if that's a word. Is that a word? Comfortability? Yeah. Of everything. I just became more comfortable every day and felt better about everything every day and continue to gain confidence. That's really what it is. Just each day I try to take a little bit of a step, and I felt like I've done that.
One defensive player who called the iconic Los Angeles Coliseum home before the move from St. Louis is safety TJ McDonald. The former USC Trojan recorded 63 tackles in 11 starts for the Rams before suffering a season-ending shoulder injury late last year. After undergoing surgery, he's ready to get back at it.
I mean, it feels great just to be back out here with the guys doing what I love. I'm just grateful to be out here. This is great energy with these fans out here, and I'm just having a good time getting better.
The Rams have plenty of getting better to do. They're coming off a 7-9 season and finished above 500 just 4 times during their 21 years in St. Louis. So while fans are rolling out the red carpet welcoming their team back, they're also banking on a blockbuster season.
Right now they're very happy to see us, and hopefully we can keep it that way.
The Rams open their season facing 2 of their NFC West Division rivals. On September 12th, they'll be in Santa Clara taking on the 49ers, and on September 18th, they will have their home opener against the Seattle Seahawks. With the Rams in Los Angeles, I'm Lena Washington.
So what do the Rams have to look forward to start the regular season? Week 1, they're on the road to face the 49ers. Then it's back home where the Super Bowl 49 champion Seattle Seahawks will be waiting. And rounding out the first 3 weeks, the Rams are at Tampa Bay. Before the season gets underway, the Rams will take on the defending champs at home during Week 3 of the preseason. Well, let's get right to the Broncos' schedule. Weeks 1 and 2 will go down at Mile High, first against the Carolina Panthers, then the Colts. After that, it's road game #1 for the Broncos, with a trip to Paul Brown Stadium to face the Bengals. So how is Denver feeling heading into the season after a win in Super Bowl 50? We go to Adam Lucas in Colorado to find out.
For the first time in almost 2 decades, the Denver Broncos enter training camp as defending Super Bowl champs. But for the first time in 5 years, they also enter without their field general, Peyton Manning. Now, not only does that open up a spot on the depth chart in what John Elway calls a wide-open competition between Mark Sanchez, Trevor Siemian, and the rookie Paxton Lynch, but it also creates a huge vacancy on that side of the ball. The start of Broncos training camp was as much about who wasn't on the field as who did suit up in orange and blue.
The good thing about having 18 is he was the leader, and he had every quality of leadership role that you can have.
Right now we're searching for a new quarterback. Like I said, it's a new team. It's still the same dream of winning a championship.
With Peyton Manning riding off into the sunset as a world champion, the Broncos face a pair of monumental shoes to fill. Enter journeyman Mark Sanchez, last year's third stringer Trevor Siemian, and the kid, Paxton Lynch. But what the Broncos may miss more than Peyton's production is the intangibles. And nobody's fooling themselves into thinking one guy can single-handedly step into the role of one of the greatest to ever play the game.
We've all understand that, that's over, it's gone. This is a new group. There are going to be some new leaders. There are going to be some new people, and it's going to have a new identity, and we don't know what that identity is going to be yet. We're working on it each day.
I might have a piece of what Peyton had, but not all of it, like so does DT and Russell and everything. So I think if we all come together and we lead as an offense, as a unit, as a group, I think it's that much better anyway.
Even with a leadership by committee approach, the quarterback position will be under a microscope, just part of the territory. And early in camp, it's the elder statesmen, Sanchez and Siemian, leading the race.
Whenever coach is ready to decide, it's his call all the way, and we just got to keep competing till, for the whole season, really.
Yeah, I think we're competing, and I think we're getting better each day. I think that's the main thing is every guy you can see noticeable differences in how he's seeing things or how he's looking at things, whether it's Mark, Paxton, or myself.
But don't think the rookie is complacent with sitting back and watching someone else seize the starting job.
Just from a competition standpoint, obviously, as a competitor, you're not just going to say, yeah, I'll take the back seat and do this, but it's my job as a rookie to push those guys that are ahead of me however I can.
Repeating as Super Bowl champs is a rare feat. The last team to do it, the New England Patriots in the early 2000s. The team before that was the Broncos in 97 and 98. And while the quarterback spot may be a question mark right now, the defense, which arguably ranked as one of the league's best, said they can be even better in 2016, so it may not take a Herculean effort from the offense. In Denver at Broncos headquarters, I'm Adam Lucas.
Coming up on the program, there is lots of chatter about the possibility of the Raiders moving from Oakland to Las Vegas. We'll explore that. That's coming up next, right here on this West Coast Training Camp special.
It's Nissan's Bottom Line Summer Event. Take on the unexpected and take home a winner. Hurry in for big model year-end offers on our award-winning lineup. Hurry, these offers end soon. Get a low $189 per month lease on the 2016 Rogue.
I know the pain families feel when their loved one is sick because I've spent a lifetime caring for them. As a doctor, I know how important Medicare is for Nevada seniors. When my father needed emergency surgery, Medicare covered him. That's why I'll protect Medicare and preserve it for future generations. I'm Dr. Joe Heck, and I approve this message because America made a promise to our seniors, and it's my promise to keep it.
Joe Heck for Senate.
Kinda Don't Care, the new album from Justin Moore. No one keeps it real like this multi-platinum country artist, and he's not pulling any punches this time either. Kinda Don't Care from Justin Moore. Deluxe features 4 bonus tracks, available now at Target.
This ain't rocket science. This ain't physics. It's pizza. I love making pizza.
Get 50% off all week during customer appreciation. Use code LB50 at papajohns.com.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Hey you, Ed here from AU Jewelers.
Hey you, we see that face.
Wow, it looks like the word is out. Jewelry, gold, diamonds, Rolex, yes, we'll buy it all. Please remember, if you don't see this face,
you're in the wrong place.
During Nissan's Bottom Line Summer Event, take on the unexpected and take home a winner. Hurry in for model year-end offers on our award-winning lineup. Offers end soon. Save up to $3,250 on the 2016 Altima.
The Raiders have spent all their years in California, the last 11 in Oakland. But could the team be on the move across state lines? If you ask Mark Davis, it's a resounding yes. Billionaire casino magnate Sheldon Adelson wants to build a $1 billion stadium. And if it becomes a reality, Davis says there's a chance it becomes the new home to the Raiders. When asked about the thought of moving, head coach Jack Del Rio took a step back, saying he's not focused on that right now.
Man, I'm loving it right now in Napa, and we're looking forward to playing in the Coliseum this year. And so that's, you know, the guys who were around me last year know, you know, I didn't spend any time talking about those stories. I mean, for me, it's about being here, being in the moment, you know, being respectful of the position that I'm in, and I'm very appreciative, you know, to have this opportunity to lead this great franchise.
For now, Oakland is where they'll stay. And as you just heard, the team isn't getting too far ahead of itself. And as Scott Bemis shows us, the optimism from last year is rolling into a new season.
At Raiders camp here in Napa, optimism is running high. Oakland hasn't had a winning season since the 2002 Super Bowl run, but they're coming off a year in which they won 7 games, and all the pieces appear to be in place to make a serious run at the playoffs.
That's always the goal. The goal is to get to the playoffs and win and be productive, and that's what this team is going to do. I feel it.
Perhaps the biggest reason for all this optimism is the emergence of third-year quarterback Derek Carr, who threw for nearly 4,000 yards a year ago, with 32 touchdowns and only 13 interceptions.
I think Derek, you know, is a natural leader. I think, you know, when you have a quarterback that's smart, he's tough, he's accurate, he really understands the game, he's got the ability to put the ball where he wants to put it. A great teammate, a great worker.
The game has slowed down a lot, and that's the biggest thing is once you're just out there playing football and you're not, you know, swimming mentally, you know, that's the biggest thing. Now, again, I'm only in my 3rd year, so I got a ways to go. But the fact that it's slowed down already, you know, helps me out a lot.
1,000-yard receiver Amari Cooper, the 4th overall pick in last year's draft, figures to get even better in year 2. He and Carr asked to be roommates during training camp to help good chemistry get even better.
I think, you know, you're talking about being on the same page with the quarterback. Certainly seeing him every night has to help.
Now it's those little details that we always talk about. Hey, you know, make sure you get to the top of the numbers. Hey, whenever you turn, I'm throwing it right at the back of your helmet, so when you turn around, that's where it's going to be. You know, those things that we can get to, that's the next step.
On defense, edge rusher Khalil Mack is only entering his 3rd year, but he's already a star. He finished 2nd in the league with 15 sacks last year.
We're looking forward to dominating.
The Mack sack attack got some help this offseason when the Raiders signed pass rushing threat Bruce Irvin from Seattle.
Having him on the other side, it makes me smile.
And in the secondary, the loss of the retired Charles Woodson will be eased by some new arrivals. First-round safety Carl Joseph, former Chief corner Sean Smith, and former Bengals safety Reggie Nelson, who made the Pro Bowl a year ago after tying for the league lead with 8 interceptions.
We had a young secondary before they came over and added some maturity, and so and it's been helping all over on our side of the ball.
The Raiders will be tested right off the bat as they'll play 3 of their first 4 games on the road. So we'll find out early on if all this optimism was just talk or if this team is ready to walk the walk. In Napa with the Raiders, I'm Scott Bemis.
So while coaches and players are pretty fired up about the upcoming season, so is Raiders owner Mark Davis. He's been around football long enough to know you don't throw around the word playoffs lightly. But he also knows that for the first time in a decade, this team has a real possibility of reaching the postseason.
Like I said, we're undefeated at this point in time. That's basically how the season starts once the Super Bowl's over. We start off undefeated. We're all undefeated. There's a lot of good things in this team right now. We brought in some free agents, had another great draft. Reggie McKenzie and Jack Del Rio have a good grasp on what's going on. We're just excited.
Looking ahead to the regular season, Oakland kicks things off on the road against the Saints. 1 week later, the Atlanta Falcons fly to California for the Raiders' home opener. Then in week 3, it's on the road again, this time in Tennessee for a matchup with the Titans. Still ahead on the program, boy, the battle for the starting quarterback job in the Bay is really heating up. Plus, some new faces in San Diego are adding to that ever-improving defense. Those stories and much more are coming up next.
Are we ready?
You know Charlie's line where he goes,
all that.
And all that matters.
So I'm saying this?
Do you want me to do it as like an impression of you?
I'm Charlie Rose.
All that.
Pause.
And all that matters.
Ooh, that was good.
Can I be all that?
All that?
And all that matters. Right here on 8 News Now.
All that and all
that matters.
All that matters.
Right after 8 News Now Good Day.
On CBS This Morning.
All that matters to Southern Nevada. Weekday mornings on 8 News Now.
Style lets you stand out from the herd. What's inside sets you apart. The 2016 Cadillac Escalade.
During summer's best, purchase this 2016 Escalade with 0% APR for 60 months and receive a $1,000 purchase allowance. Visit your Southern Nevada Cadillac dealer.
David was proud to be an American soldier. And I know I'm prejudiced because he was my son, but I don't think he had a mean bone in his body. There is not a day that I don't think about David. When I saw Donald Trump attack another Gold Star mother, I felt such a sense of outrage.
She was standing there. She had nothing to say. She probably...
If Donald Trump cannot respect a Gold Star family, then why would anyone in America think he would respect them?
VoteVets is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Sudden Impact Auto Body and Finley Acura are teaming up for the 8 News Now food drive. Now, through August 26th, drop off canned food items and other non-perishable items at either of our locations. Your donations will help benefit the Las Vegas Rescue Mission and their goal to feed our homeless. Together, we can make a difference.
For more information, visit LasVegasNow.com. The 8 News Now food drive, sponsored by Sudden Impact Auto Body and Finley Acura.
A big battle is brewing in San Francisco over who will be the team's starting QB. Now, as Julia Lopez explains, the 49ers quarterbacks aren't the only ones battling for a top spot.
All right, the action is underway here at the 2016 training camp for the San Francisco 49ers. Unlike the team that's up north 82 miles, the Raiders already know who their starting quarterback is. The Niners do not. It's a neck-and-neck race to see who's going to be their starter between Blaine Gabbert and Colin Kaepernick.
Again, I have no idea who's going to be injured or not or whatever, so not into predictions. But to make a fair evaluation, they have to both get reps for the one. So
both guys are doing a good job. They're both competing their tails off. Classroom, on the field. They're both doing a good job. I wouldn't say anyone's ahead of the other right now.
Curtis Modkins wouldn't say who's ahead in the race, but he did mention what characteristics he's looking for in a starter.
But I think accuracy is very important. I think decision-making is very important. I think the ability to lead the team and move the team is important. I don't know if you can separate one from the other, but because I think they're all important in this league.
Now, the quarterbacks aren't the only ones competing for a starting spot. There are 2 first-round draft picks who have to prove their worth. Former Oregon defensive end DeForest Buckner and offensive lineman Joshua Garnett out of Stanford.
Coming out of college, I like to hang my hat on being a powerful guy, and that's what I'm trying to get back to here is kind of get the playbook down pat and not have to think anymore and be able to run off the ball and kind of do the stuff that I was got drafted to do here.
It's a man's game, you know what I mean? Any chance guys will get, they'll try to, dominate you. So you got to come out every day with the mindset that they're gonna dominate every day, and you got to, do what you got to do to be on top.
And one player who's at the peak of his game right now is inside linebacker Navarro Bowman. This will be his 7th season in the league, but he's showing his leadership on and off the field.
Just leading by example, being a professional day in and day out, just showing them, how you carry yourself, how you take care of your body, things like that. And I think they're starting to take note from guys, not just me, but from guys that's in their position also. So, your first year is really nerve-wracking, but so far I think the young guys are doing a great job with just, taking example, taking piece by piece, and just, trying to make themselves a professional.
Now the Niners are trying to get back on top of the NFC West. They're coming off of a 5-11 season, and although they have a young crop of players with a brand new coaching staff, including head coach Chip Kelly, that might be a good thing. In Kelly's first year in Philly, he turned the 4-12 Eagles to a 10-6 playoff team.
We're learning them as a coaching staff. They're learning us. We're putting in new schemes, not only offensively and defensively, but special teams also. So it's a combination of all of those.
We're very hungry to work. I think when we were the first to tell you, we have a lot of work to do. And I said the first day of training camp, that's what it's going to take to turn this team around. And I've been really excited about the first week and a half that we all show up every single day ready to work.
When preseason wraps up, the San Francisco 49ers will welcome the LA Rams on September 12th right here at Levi Stadium. And it is going to be a Monday Night Football showdown. Reporting from Santa Clara, I'm Julia Lopez.
As mentioned earlier in the show, the 49ers start off the 2016 campaign with a home game against the Rams. After that, it's a trip across the country as they go head-to-head with Carolina. And San Francisco wraps things up Week 3 against the Seahawks. Let's keep it in the AFC West and head south. The Bolts from San Diego jumpstart the regular season at Kansas City. Then it's Jacksonville that hits the road for the Chargers home opener. And 1 week later, Indianapolis Colts will welcome San Diego to Lucas Oil Stadium. Now that they know San Diego will be their home, the Bolts are settling in for the season. Lena Washington takes us to Southern California for a look at some of the players who could make a difference for the Bolts this season.
The Chargers are back to work in San Diego for at least one more season. Of course, the biggest storyline in the offseason was whether the team would be moving back to Los Angeles. Ultimately, the Rams got the bid for a new $2.6 billion stadium to be built in Inglewood, and the Chargers have the option to join them there. But for now, they're just looking to improve from last season's 4-12 record.
New year, man. New year. And with that, we have all the confidence in the world that we can go from worst to first. You know, and that's our mindset. That's how we're coming out. That's how we're working, and that's how we're approaching it.
The Bolts opened training camp and charged through weeks of work at their Murphy Canyon facility without this year's 3rd overall draft pick, Joey Bosa, as the unsigned defensive end and the team continue to stare down over some terms of his contract. But San Diego's defense has been establishing its identity without him.
You know, we want to be aggressive, we want to be a physical football team, and we want to dominate.
The Chargers D ranked 21st in the NFL in points per game allowed last season, while the offense managed the 4th most passing yards per game behind 13-year veteran quarterback Phillip Rivers.
His personality, he teaches me a lot about just kind of being, you know, what it means to be a quarterback here. Just the way he carries himself every single day. I mean, you don't even have to talk about it much, just have to sit back and watch and see what he does and learn every day.
Rivers and longtime teammate, tight end Antonio Gates, are among the players who have head coach Mike McCoy's system down pat, and their leadership has been trickling down to rookies looking to make a name for themselves in the NFL.
They're both studs. I mean, they're both studs on and off the field, like I was saying. In the locker room, they're fun. They're fun to be around. You know, they know how to rally the guys. So it's fun to be around those guys that still love the game so much and so passionate about it.
And San Diegans are passionate about their Bolts, who failed to make the playoffs the last 2 seasons and have yet to win a Super Bowl championship.
You know, coming into training camp, we have some goals set for whether it's each player, each position, you know, each scheme, you know, offensively, defense in the kicking game. There's a lot of room for improvement. And each year your team changes. New players come in. They got to learn your system.
Second-year running back Melvin Gordon, who was sidelined late last year with a knee injury, will be working to become effective in McCoy's system this upcoming season, a season that almost wasn't going to happen in San Diego. So when the team takes the field at Qualcomm Stadium this year, they'll be looking to shock the world.
One thing I can do is know that we're going to be here for this year and give San Diego and the city and the fans everything they deserve.
The Chargers kick off their season on September 11th in Kansas City against their AFC West rivals, the Chiefs. Reporting from Chargers training camp in San Diego, I'm Lena Washington.
Coming up on the show, how do the odds makers see the season playing out for these West Coast teams? We went to the sports books to get an answer. We'll have those for you coming up after the break.
Ready for the movie?
And a new car.
AutoNation's having a sale, and you'll make no payments for 90 days.
Right now at AutoNation. Make no payments for 90 days when you buy any new car or truck, coast to coast. Sale ends Labor Day at AutoNation.
If you've been hurt in an accident, turn to someone you can trust. Enough said. Call Ed.
I'm Ed Bernstein, and I've been helping you and your neighbors for almost 40 years.
Upgrade your company's digital presence with 8 News Now digital media, search engine optimization, banner ads, pre-roll video, and more, all customized to fit your needs. 8 News Now digital media. Get your free consultation today.
I've been using Silver State Plumbing for all my plumbing emergencies. So when my water heater broke, I knew just who to call. I wanted a company that was fast, responsive, and had great reviews. So of course I called Silver State.
But don't wait until trouble started. Right now you can get a whole house plumbing inspection for just $25.
I couldn't have called a better company than Silver State Plumbing. You'll be glad you called too.
Silver State Plumbing, 433-5008.
Your opportunity to get a great job has arrived.
Curaçao Stores, one of the best companies in electronics and technology in the United States, opens its doors in Las Vegas. Become part of the Curaçao team. We offer competitive salaries starting at $10.50 an hour. There are over 150 positions available. Meet us this Saturday and Sunday at the Meadows Mall from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. Bring your resume and apply to join Curaçao.
Ready for the movie?
And a new car.
AutoNation's having a sale, and you'll make no payments for 90 days.
Right now, make no payments for 90 days or get up to 20% off new Buick and GMC vehicles. Sale ends Labor Day at AutoNation.
What was something typically only found in Las Vegas sportsbooks is now part of mainstream sports betting. Betting odds are often featured on your screen during broadcasts. So how do the sportsbooks see the season playing out for our West Coast teams? We went to the world's largest sportsbook to find out.
Denver Broncos.
Well, the big question about the defending champions is their quarterback situation. You have Mark Sanchez, Simeon's there. They have question marks about the most important position on the field. Other than that, they're going to still have a strong defense. Most likely they're going to contend for the AFC West. And it's not going to surprise me to see them contending for the AFC. But they got their work cut out for them because their quarterback situation hasn't been determined.
San Francisco 49ers.
So the 49ers have gone through some rough times ever since they went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Ravens a couple of years back. They just haven't been the same, and that's mainly around the quarterback play that they have received from Kaepernick. Kaepernick might not even be the starting quarterback this year. We'll have to see what happens there. But it's a change. They have a new coach. They have some new personnel there. And if they can change the attitude of what they've seen over the last couple of years, it's not going to take too long for that organization to be back on top.
Oakland Raiders.
Well, the Raiders are kind of like the sexy pick this year. I mean, a lot of people are talking about them. They've shown tremendous strides over the last couple of years. Del Rio is a great coach. Carr has been showing flashes of being a really good quarterback. And they got their draft picks over the last couple of years have really contributed. So they're right on the verge of being a contender. But it's still the Raiders, and they've found ways to lose in years past.
Los Angeles Rams.
They've had high expectations over the last 3 or 4 years, and they just really haven't fulfilled those expectations. They've found ways to lose. The injuries have really cost them. Again, inconsistent play through the Rams.
San Diego Chargers.
Unfortunately for the Chargers, they're going in the opposite direction compared to all the other three teams in the AFC West. You got the Chiefs that are going in the right direction. The Raiders are certainly going in the right direction and on the verge of being a contender. And then you have the defending Super Bowl champs.
Now, most teams won't say it, but they all have their eyes on the big prize, and that is capturing the Lombardi Trophy. Super Bowl 51 will go down February 5th at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. This will be the third time the big game will be held in Houston, and for the first time in more than a decade. And with that, we say goodbye. Thanks for watching this West Coast Training Camp special. I'm Chris Matthews. Have a great day, everybody.